How to feel good in your own skin after 60. Have you ever caught a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and thought, who is that person? Maybe it's the lines around your eyes, or the way your shoulders slump a little more than they used to. Maybe it's not even about what you see, but how you feel inside. Slower. Quieter. Almost invisible. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. So many of us, after 60, start to wonder if we're slowly fading into the background. We've spent decades working, raising families, taking care of others. And somewhere along the way, we stop taking care of ourselves. But here's the thing no one tells you loud enough: you don't have to disappear. You don't have to feel less than. You can feel good, really good, in your own skin again. And it doesn't require turning back time or pretending to be 30 again. It starts by choosing to honor the body, mind, and soul that carried you this far. In this video, I want to talk to you like a good friend would. Not with lectures or life hacks or empty promises. Just honest, real talk about how to feel good, comfortable, proud, and strong right where you are. No shame. No pressure. Just you, learning to feel at home in yourself again. Let's start with something simple. But powerful. Let your body move. I'm not talking about sweating it out in the gym for an hour or lifting heavy weights. I'm talking about waking up in the morning, putting your feet on the floor, and doing a gentle stretch. Rolling your shoulders. Reaching for the ceiling. Taking a slow walk around the block. The body is like a river. When it stops flowing, it gets stagnant. And when it moves, even just a little, energy returns. You'll feel it. Your joints loosen up. Your breath deepens. Your spine straightens. That quiet little ache in your lower back? It softens. Movement reminds your body it's still alive. Still capable. Still yours. And it doesn't matter what shape you're in. Start small. Walk while listening to your favorite old song. Dance in the kitchen while making your morning tea. Do a few light stretches in bed before getting up. The goal isn't to look young. The goal is to feel alive. And when you move, even just 10 minutes a day, you're telling your body, I still care. I'm still here. But moving your body is just the beginning. Let's talk about the stories you tell yourself. You know the ones. I'm too old for that. No one listens to me anymore. It's too late to start over. Those little thoughts? They're like termites in a house. They eat away at your confidence, your motivation, your joy. And after a while, you stop showing up for yourself. You dress in clothes that don't make you happy. You stop making plans. You shrink into a version of yourself that doesn't match who you really are. So I want to ask you something, and be honest with yourself here. If your best friend talked to you the way you sometimes talk to yourself, would you put up with it? Probably not. So today, try this. The next time you catch yourself thinking something harsh or discouraging, pause. Take a deep breath. And ask, is this really true? Or is this just fear talking? You are not too old. You are not too late. And you are definitely not invisible. You are a walking, breathing story of everything you've lived through, every tear, every laugh, every scar and lesson and triumph. And that story? It's worth celebrating. Which brings me to something else. Dress for yourself. Not to impress anyone. Not to look age appropriate. Not to blend in. Dress in a way that makes you feel seen. Maybe it's a bold color. Maybe it's a soft scarf. Maybe it's jeans that actually fit right and don't cut into your stomach. We often think clothes don't matter after a certain age. But oh, they do. Not because of what other people think, but because of how they make you feel. Think about it. Remember the last time you wore something that made you feel really good? Not fancy, just you. Maybe it was a warm sweater, or a blouse with a pattern you loved. How did you carry yourself? Did you notice you stood a little taller? Smiled a little more? That's not vanity. That's self-respect. So go ahead. Find that one outfit that makes you feel like your best self and wear it. Even if you're just staying home. Especially if you're just staying home. Because feeling good in your own skin isn't about waiting for a special occasion. It's about making today that occasion. And while we're here, let's talk about something that people rarely want to say out loud: skin. Yes, your actual skin. It changes. Wrinkles come. Skin gets thinner, drier, a little more fragile. And we're told to hide it. Cover it. Fix it. But what if, instead of trying to erase every line, we learn to soften the way we looked at ourselves? What if that spot on your hand isn't ugly but a reminder of a life lived outdoors, in the sun, in the garden, chasing kids, walking dogs, living fully? There's beauty in age. And it's not about trying to reverse it. It's about learning to see it differently. So give your skin a little care, not to fight time, but to feel nurtured. A gentle lotion after the shower. A dab of your favorite scent behind the ear. Not because you need it, but because you deserve it. Self-care isn't selfish. It's how we remind ourselves that we matter. Still. Always. Now that you've taken that first step, maybe a walk, maybe just a kind thought toward yourself, let's build on that. Because feeling good in your own skin doesn't happen all at once. It's like planting a garden. One seed, one small act, and before you know it, things begin to bloom. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, especially as we get older: connection. Real, honest-to-goodness connection. Not just small talk at the grocery store. Not just a polite "I'm fine" when someone asks how you're doing. But true, soul-level connection that makes you feel seen. Here's the hard truth. Loneliness can creep in quietly. It doesn't always come with sadness. Sometimes it just shows up as a numbness. A quiet in the house that feels a little too heavy. Days blending together. Conversations that only happen on TV. But the thing is, we need each other. No matter how independent we've learned to be, no matter how strong we've become from doing things on our own, we're wired for connection. And connection doesn't have to mean a crowded room or a busy social life. It can start with one person. One phone call. One lunch. Even a wave to a neighbor you haven't spoken to in a while. If it feels hard to reach out, start small. Maybe write a letter to an old friend. Ask someone to coffee, even if it makes you nervous. Or look for a group in your community that shares your interests: gardening, painting, reading. You'd be surprised how many people are looking for the same thing you are. And if that feels like too much right now, start with this: talk to yourself the way you would to someone you love. That's a connection, too. That inner voice? It matters more than we think. Let's shift gears for a moment. I want to talk about something that affects the way we feel in our skin in a very physical way: what we put into our bodies. Now don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to cut out every sweet or go vegan or count every calorie. That's not what this is about. It's about fuel. Think of your body like a car that's been running for decades. It's strong. Reliable. But it runs best with the right fuel. That means giving it real food. Food that nourishes you. That gives you energy instead of taking it away. Simple things, like starting the day with something warm and grounding. Maybe it's oatmeal with a little fruit. Maybe it's a boiled egg and a slice of toast with real butter. Maybe it's just a glass of water before your coffee. When you eat to feel good, not to lose weight, not to punish yourself, not to follow a fad, but to feel alive, everything changes. Your energy lifts. Your mood evens out. That brain fog that made you forget why you walked into the kitchen. It starts to lift. You don't have to overhaul your whole diet overnight. Just notice how food makes you feel. Start there. Add more of what gives you energy. Gently move away from what drags you down. This is not about restriction. It's about nourishment. And while we're nourishing the body, let's not forget the mind. Because after 60, it's easy to fall into the trap of routine. Same day. Same thoughts. same patterns. And when the mind stops being curious, stops learning, stops wondering, that's when life starts to feel a little dim. So here's a question. When was the last time you learned something new? Not for work. Not because you had to. But just for the joy of it. Maybe it's learning a few words in a new language. Picking up an instrument you always wished you had time for. Watching a documentary that opens up a part of the world you've never seen. Your brain is still capable of growth. Of excitement. Of curiosity. And the best part? Every time you learn something new, you're reminding yourself that life isn't over. You're still growing. Still expanding. Still here. It's not about being useful to others. It's about being alive to yourself. Let's take a moment now to talk about something tender. Grief. It may not be the first thing you think of when we talk about feeling good in your own skin, but it's often what lingers under the surface. Maybe you've lost a partner. A sibling. A friend. Maybe it's not a person, but a season of life. A career. A version of yourself you miss. Grief has a strange way of making us feel disconnected from ourselves. Like we're walking around wearing someone else's coat. But grief doesn't mean you stop living. It doesn't mean you stop smiling. And it definitely doesn't mean you stop growing. The most powerful thing you can do is allow yourself to feel it, and then gently remind yourself, I am still here. I still matter. There is still beauty left for me to touch. That takes courage. But I promise, it opens a door. One small crack of light at a time. And when that light comes in, even just a little, you start to notice things. The way the sun hits your window in the morning. The way your hands feel around a warm cup of tea. The sound of birds, the smell of your neighbor's cooking, the laugh of a grandchild, even if it's just on the phone. These moments? They're not small. They're sacred. They bring you back to yourself. You see, feeling good in your own skin isn't some grand transformation. It's not about chasing the past or fixing what was never broken. It's about returning, gently, lovingly, to who you really are underneath the noise. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through presence. Just being where you are. Not 5 years ago. Not 10 steps ahead. Right here. Right now. There's something truly freeing that happens when you stop trying to control the future or mourn the past and just be. Try this. Next time you drink your coffee, don't scroll. Don't multitask. Just hold the cup. Feel the warmth. Smell it. Let it be enough. Presence isn't some fancy meditation practice. It's choosing to be awake in your own life. And the more you do it, the more grounded you'll feel. Like your life fits you again. But let's be real, it's hard to feel present when you don't sleep well. So we have to talk about rest. Not just physical rest, but deep, soul-level rest. Our culture glorifies being busy. Even in retirement, some people feel guilty if they're not doing something productive. But rest is productive. It heals your body. Recharges your mind. Softens your spirit. Make your bedroom a sanctuary. Invest in sheets that feel soft against your skin. Keep the light low before bed. Put away the news and the noise. Let your body unwind without judgment. And if your mind races at night, that's okay. Try writing down your thoughts before bed. Or listening to gentle music. Or simply placing your hand over your heart and whispering, I'm okay. I'm safe. I did enough today. Sometimes, that's all it takes to ease into rest. And when you begin to sleep better, your whole world shifts. Your patience stretches. Your laughter returns. Your shoulders drop from your ears. And that old saying, it's true, everything looks better in the morning. Now here's something else I want you to remember. Something many people forget after a certain age, you still have permission to dream. Yes, dream. Even at 60. At 70. At 80. There is no expiration date on desire, curiosity, or wonder? What do you still want to experience? Maybe it's something small, like learning to bake a pie from scratch. Or something bold, like finally taking that road trip across the country. Whatever it is, give yourself the permission to want it. You've spent a lifetime making things happen for other people. Now it's your turn. Write it down. Say it out loud. Put a little star next to it. And then take one tiny step toward it. It's not selfish. It's living. And maybe the most important piece of all, learn to forgive yourself. Forgive the choices you made when you didn't know better. The words you didn't say. The chances you didn't take. The things you lost, and the way you handled the losing. We all carry regrets. But you don't have to carry them forever. You can set them down. Right here. Right now. Because the you who's standing here today, after all that life has thrown at you, is worthy of love. Of kindness. Of peace. Look at how far you've come. Seriously. Look. You've survived heartbreak. Illness. Disappointment. Change. You've said goodbye to people you loved. You've started over when you thought you couldn't. That's not weakness. That's resilience. So when you look in the mirror, really look, I hope you see more than lines and tired eyes. I hope you see strength. Wisdom. Compassion. I hope you see someone who has earned every inch of who they are. Because here's the truth. You are not your age. You are not your wrinkles. You are not your aches or your past or your mistakes. You are a soul with stories. A heart that still beats for something. A light that hasn't gone out. So take up space. Smile at strangers. Speak up. Be a little silly. Wear what you love. Start new things. Say no when you need to. Say yes to yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. Just be you. Fully. Proudly. Softly. Loudly. However you choose. And if you ever forget how far you've come, I hope you come back to this video. Because you're not alone. We're all walking this path together. Trying. Fumbling. Rising. Loving. Learning how to belong to ourselves again. So here's to you. To your softness and your strength. To the years behind you and the ones still waiting. To the small steps. The brave choices. The quiet wins. Here's to feeling good in your own skin, not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. If this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share something you've done lately that made you feel alive. Or just drop a heart in the comments so we know we're walking this journey together. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's more coming your way, more encouragement, more support, more little reminders that life after 60 can be the most beautiful chapter yet. Here's to living your best life at any age. You deserve it.